16,000 mammoths died in the same place, not over millions of years. In a span so short, geologically speaking, it might as well have been yesterday, and we still don't know why. What we do know, something about this location in the Black Hills of South Dakota acted like a magnet for death. Mammoths kept coming back, they kept dying, and nobody, not a single scientist, can explain the pattern. 16,000 mammoths died in the same place, not over millions of years. In a span so short, geologically speaking, it might as well have been yesterday, and we still don't know why. What we do know, something about this location in the Black Hills of South Dakota acted like a magnet for death. Mammoths kept coming back, they kept dying, and nobody, not a single scientist, can explain the pattern. Let's be specific about the scale here. 16,000 mammoths. That's more mammoths than exist in every major natural history museum on Earth combined. Stack them trunk to tail, you'd have a line of extinct elephants stretching from New York City to Philadelphia, twice, and they all died in the same sinkhole. A hole you could walk across in 45 seconds. The mammoth site occupies 45 acres of what is now Hot Springs, South Dakota. Under that ground, so far, paleontologists have uncovered the remains of at least 60 complete or near-complete mammoths. But here's the unsettling part. They've only excavated about 1% of the site. If the density holds, and all evidence suggests it does, there are thousands more down there, waiting. Most fossils tell a story you can understand. A flood, a volcanic ash cloud, a meteor, a clear mechanism of death followed by burial. The mammoth site refuses to tell that story. Around 26,000 years ago, during the last ice age, something opened. A sinkhole formed when an underground spring dissolved the limestone beneath the prairie. Water pooled, warm water, possibly hot. Then the mammoths started arriving, and they kept arriving. For nearly 4,000 years, generation after generation, mammoths walking into the same trap their ancestors had walked into. Scientists found the bones of young mammoths, old mammoths, juveniles, mothers, and massive bulls, all piled in the same 130-foot deep pit, all dead in the same location. Now ask yourself, why would they keep coming back? The leading theory is almost worse than a mystery. The mammoths came for the water, warm water. In the middle of an ice age, a naturally warm spring at a location where the surface was frozen 9 months a year would be a precious thing. A place where a mammoth could drink, where herds could gather. The oldest known mammoths at the site date to 26,500 years ago, the youngest to 22,000 years ago. Across nearly 4,000 years, they came, but the water that drew them was the water that killed them. Once a mammoth descended the slick walls of that pit, the slope was too steep to climb out. The next mammoth came for the water, found a dead mammoth, possibly panicked, tried to climb, couldn't, died. This happened hundreds of times, hundreds. The bodies piled up, the water kept flowing. More mammoths came. We think this is what happened. We think, because here's what makes the mammoth site genuinely unsettling. We're still not certain. Other paleontologists propose different theories. Predation traps, a methane vent that suffocated the animals, a toxic algae bloom in the water, a natural salt lick that drew them in and poisoned them, hypothermia from the thermal shock of the water. Every theory explains some of the evidence. None of them explain all of it. The bones show no consistent trauma, no clear evidence of drowning, no deposits of volcanic ash or poisonous minerals. Just mammoths, layer upon layer, some articulated as if they died and were buried immediately, others scattered as if scavengers had torn them apart, some oriented the same direction, others random. Site has been excavated carefully since 1974. Scientists have found bone beds that suggest organized behavior, mammoths arranging themselves, mammoths pushing other mammoths. Interaction, intentionality, not the passive piling you'd expect from a simple death trap. Something else was happening. Here's what we know for certain: 4,000 years of mammoths, one location, thousands of deaths, and a mechanism we still cannot definitively explain. Scientists can walk you through what probably happened, probably, but the moment you ask them, are you sure, they go quiet, because they are not completely. The mammoth site closed the sinkhole, covered it, preserved it. Today it's a museum where you can stand above the excavation pit and look down into a graveyard 130 feet deep. You can see the mammoths, actual bone, actual proof that something beyond our understanding happened here. Not on another planet, not in ancient legend, here in South Dakota, so recently in geological time that mammoths were still walking the earth. The Ice Age mammoths are gone now, extinct. The last of them died around 4,000 years ago. We don't know exactly why. Climate change, human hunting, disease, possibly a combination, but they are gone. And we're left with this site, this impossible graveyard, this place where one location killed thousands of the largest land animals that ever walked Earth, over and over, for thousands of years. Stand above that pit long enough and the question won't leave you. What was it about that place? What made it special? What made mammoths keep returning to their deaths? And here's the question underneath the question. How many places like this exist on Earth right now? How many locations are traps we haven't recognized yet? How many are actively killing species we think are thriving? The mammoth site is a door we didn't know was there, and we're standing in front of it, knowing only that something real and enormous happened on the other side, knowing only that we don't have the full answer, and knowing that probably somewhere in the Earth, the answer is still waiting.